Hi everybody. We'll see how this does with the wind we have out here today. But what we're going to do is a little bit of beekeeping, some experimental stuff. So here we have a 4-way mini mating nuc is what they're called. So there's 4 individual chambers, and I have them painted color-coded green, silver, red, and blue. There is a corresponding, in this case, a screen bottom board, again with color coding so that it can orient. But what we're going to do today is try to get these frames drawn out. So as you may be able to see, these frames have been in a beehive, propolis and stuff, but they haven't been drawn, and I don't want to put them in there undrawn into the mating nuc. One feature about this is if you want to make a double, you can just pull out the middle. The frames are half length. A lot of people like the full length frames, but anyway, we're going to put them in there to get drawn into our hive. And the way we'll do that is for demonstration only here, we've got this nuc that's set up with, has now 4 drawn frames in it, full frames. And what we'll do is we'll take this, this little metal clip that you bend up, and you put one end of your frame on the frame rest of the box, and the other frame rests on this clip here. So not perfect bee space, and you probably want to expect some propolis, but what that will let me do is put these mini frames into my hive and get them drawn out and ready to use in the 4-way box. So that's our plan for today. Sometimes the bees don't agree with what I had planned. Plan B, depending on what we get, is going to be this 5-frame nuc. It's got full frames in it, and if we open our hive today and we find that there's a couple good frames that are packed full of eggs and larvae at different stages, we're going to try to do a split into this 5-frame nuc. I've got the complete hive here, inner cover and outer cover, so we're going to see how that works. But the main thing today is that we're here for is to put these mini frames into the hive and see if we can get them drawn out. Just a couple other things about the mini frames. The plans can be found on Michigan Beekeepers website, and they give you everything you need to build the bottom. You can build new or retrofit an existing box, and they give you plans for the mini frames themselves. These are just 4 inspection covers. So say that you want to inspect this mini, well, you don't want all the bees from the other 3 chambers coming out. So I've got these Luan panels here just to cover up, and I have witness marks on them so I can tell me which way they should go. And then the last part that's unique about a mini versus a full hive is this is a 4-way feeder. It's just an existing inner cover I had built, and I retrofitted so that I can put feeders on. Now, of course, with these feeders, you'd want to put a box over top of this to be able to put your lid on and everything. But the box itself and the unique bottom board, the benefit to using these is they all use standard 10 frames. So, for example, here's just a regular 10-frame telescoping lid. If I wanted to, we're set up like that. So anyway, that's one of the benefits to being able to build your own equipment, is you can do these experiments, and maybe this will work, maybe it won't. If it fails, it wouldn't be the first time I failed at beekeeping. I'm guessing it won't be the last. But if it doesn't work, then we just put the bees back where we got them. And if it does work, we have a couple colonies that we can then pull these frames out and put them in between other frames on an existing hive or a new hive, and start another hive that way. So something to think about. We'll see what we get to. So while trying to maintain the order that the frames are in currently, understanding we can't fully maintain the order because we want to transfer some things, we're going to look for a couple frames that have eggs, larvae, all that fun stuff. We'll take all of the bees as long as one of them is not the queen. We're going to leave the queen in here so she can keep doing her thing in here. And just transfer it whole into the nuc. We might end up with 2 beehives. We might end up with just one, really. If they don't work, we can always just put them back. So I guess that's advice for folks. Try it. If it doesn't work, put them back. We tried an experiment this spring, me and a friend of mine. Oh, this is quite stuck. And it didn't work. So we just put the bees back together. So this would be probably a frame I'm going to take and put into the nuc, as long as I don't find the queen on here. Because it's got a good amount of eggs, larvae, cat brood, bees. As long as I don't find the queen, this is a good transplant candidate. Alright, so I'm going to go get the nuc and the minis. Start that part. To put the nuc over here off camera. Again, just going to check for the queen last time. Just to make sure she didn't crawl up here and sneak on me. These bees should stay in this nuc. There should be bees that never left. All right, so let's remember our order. I wish I had that paper. I think I got it in my pocket. But it was old, new. Remember, it started on the outside as old. So we'll put this honey frame back as frame 1, old. And then we'll have to get another frame out. Have we looked at this one already? I think we did. We got one bee. Y'all ever have this? Just one bee that gets in your business? For some reason, that particular bee is cranky today. And these are, oh, I can feel they're stuck together on the bottom is what it is. And we're just looking for, there's some eggs, some very young larvae. Again, just looking for the queen. We would like to find her just to confirm that she's not in the transplanting. That would be, I don't know, it would be all right, I guess. Wouldn't be great. All right, so did I bring that paper with me? Of course I didn't. Anyway, it will go. I remember old, new, old. So these two would be old. Here's your news. So just approximately here. I'm guessing where we're going to put these. Okay, and then we're just going to try to pinch them together. Again, this is a violation of bee space, but we're going to live with it. We're going to take and look at one more frame for transfer, and we'll close that nuc up. And that nuc's going to sit where the camera's sitting. I like these black frames. Okay, and again, lots of cat brood here, so bees will come out. As long as we don't find our queen on here, this would be one that goes into the new box. Thought I saw her, it was just a big drone. Our new ones again. We'll grab another tab and a couple more frames. Drop your hive tool sometimes. Sometimes you drop your hive tool. I wonder if that's the same bee. I don't blame her. Somebody breaks into your house, records the whole thing for all the world to see. How would you act? Probably the same way. All right, and that's as good as we can get on bee space there. So I do remember from that paper that I wrote on, not like I wrote the paper, y'all. We want to go new or old in the middle. We'll see what we get. I tell you all something funny. I'm kind of scared of bees anyway. Here I am. How ridiculous is that? A beekeeper is scared of bees. And you see it. I haven't gotten stung this year, jinx. Probably just jinxed myself. All right. All cool here still. So just more ramblings while I'm doing this check. Why don't I think the bees will leave the nuc and come back to this parent hive? Because I'm just going to put it right beside it. Well, some of them might, right? Some of them might. Oh, there's the queen. There she is. Right there. Hope you're seeing that. All right. Is because they have a strong desire to help their brood succeed, so they'll stick around and help the brood. So if you did this without any brood in the frames, they probably would leave and come back to the parent colony. But if you give them something there to protect, you know, their colony instinct is very strong, and that includes the raising of the next generation. So that's why I don't want to say I'm confident in everything, but that's why I believe the bees will stay in the new nuc, is to protect the brood that are currently in that nuc. I think I'm talking too much. The bees are getting my carbon dioxide, or whatever it is, monoxide, dioxide. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had planned on doing 2 more, but I'm just going to be happy with that. 6 for now. Saw the queen. Don't need to see too much else. I'm going to button it back up and move the nuc to where the camera's at, put the medium back onto the parent hive, and call it a day. I do have some weed whacking to do. I'll do that while I still got all my suit on and everything, but that was pretty much it, my friends. And just one more thing before I go is just to encourage you again to keep notes. So here, this is this year's activity so far, what I've done, what the bees have done, what they've showed me. But don't try to remember everything. I've only got one hive and I can't remember everything. And before, the last part is talking about putting these mini frames into the existing hive. I worked it out beforehand. Old is O and N is new. This is the way I want to go. Old, new, old, new, old, old, new, old, new, old. The reason why is because they're probably not going to work the outside edges very quickly. So we'll leave those old, and then we leave 2 new old ones because they have to be, the new has to sit in between 2 old frames. I hope that makes sense to you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful, and thanks for watching. There should be a button down on your lower right as you're watching this screen. If you could click subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Have a good day.